The following podcast contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Greetings from Tromaville. This is Lloyd Kaufman, president of Troma Entertainment and creator of the Toxic Avenger. And, folks, when we're not making those great Troma movies like Tromeo and Juliet and Return to Nukem High, Volume 1 and Volume 2, the Troma team and I like to kick back and listen to the best podcast in the world, The Showdown, because The Showdown is the most educational, the most emotional, and the most intelligent, and the most entertaining podcast in the entire
This
world.
is the Showdown Podcast.
I've been at Sleepaway Camp.
This is surprisingly the first episode in our Spooktober
Very
series.
scared.
Did you go back and listen to it
Welcome
to see if it was
to
Spooktober
Sleepaway
or
Camp.
Spooktacular?
No, I didn't look.
Someone
All right.
is
Ah.
watching you.
One job for you.
I didn't know I was
One
supposed
job.
Someone
Sound
is
effects?
waiting for you.
Yeah, the store's open. So,
Oh, Vic, hit him again.
Someone wants to scare you to death.
Welcome to the Showdown Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Scott, joined by co-host live from the Miller Zoo, Corey Miller.
Sleepaway Camp.
howdy.
And live
You
via
won't be
Skype
coming
from White Ass,
home.
Delaware, Vic Miller.
And surprisingly, not a black person in sight on this week's movie.
Yeah.
Oh no, there was
There
one.
was one.
They were the fucking kitchen help. Now I'm pissed.
He got a promotion, though.
Only the kitchen help. That's some bullshit.
But he did get a promotion.
Didn't see any black kids though.
No. They were in Massachusetts, I think, or upstate
Racist
New York.
ass movie.
I think it's upstate New York or somewhere around there.
There are plenty of black people in New York. Trust me.
We're talking Sleepaway Camp
Yes.
here on the Showdown. And before we get to that, we'll do history. There is no bankroller bust this week because this
$1
wasn't,
million.
This wasn't a real movie. So before we get into that, before we get into history and all that, since it is Sleepaway Camp,
Mm-hmm.
Corey,
Yes.
have you ever been to a summer camp?
Twice. Went 2 summers in a row. And it was
What kind of camp was it?
it was CYO, Catholic Youth Organization.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was boys stay on this side of the lake, girls on that side of the lake. You see them once the entire month or the entire week you're there.
Boys shower in the priest's cabin. Girls icky ew.
Yeah. Yep.
So
But that was like the first time I went was like the first time I'd ever stayed away from home that long. So and then I was in 6th grade. So
You spent the entire week curled up in the fetal position in your bed,
yeah, pretty much. No, it was
hiding from guys like me and Brad.
yeah.
what were you doing to kids at your
Yeah.
summer camp?
Yeah.
So what were the activities you would do on a daily basis?
We would have craft time.
How would you start off the day?
I don't remember how.
Like,
it would
was
start
it one
out.
of those? Did you stay overnight?
Yeah, it was one of those. You were there for the entire week. I think you went there on a Sunday and you left. Maybe you went there on a Saturday and left on Sunday. I can't remember exactly the dates or the days.
And how old were you?
This was 6th grade and I think 7th grade as well.
So you're like 12.
Yeah, maybe 12, 13.
I'm just trying to think. Like, so this is like 1909,
Mm-hmm.
1910.
Yeah, we had to take.
They were churning butter.
Like
Yeah.
the Great Depression on the horizon. That just for the camp having to deal with Corey for that week.
Yeah,
They call it the Great Depression. That's what they call camp every year.
but you'd go down. You'd go down for breakfast every day at the mess hall.
What was like the big highlight, like the big, peak activity or like the hot activity? Like what was the popular one?
For the entire week, or just in
Like, what was everybody looking forward to?
the few hours that the girls from the other camp came over.
Oh, really?
I think so. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like, I would have been that kid that would have found a way to sneak out and go to the girls' island.
Yeah, I was. If I wouldn't have been so, no, that's not. We shouldn't do that. If I wouldn't have been raised that kid, I'm sure I would have been a little bit more adventurous. Yeah, but that was like the main thing. That was like on, I think like on a Wednesday or Thursday they would come over, and like go swimming and stuff. So, and there'd be other activities.
Oh wow,
you
that
could do.
doesn't seem smart.
Oh, I know.
Hey, we've sequestered all these boys together for a few days. Let's let them see some girls in bathing suits, and then make sure that they're right back to being sequestered.
Yeah. So
man, that was a sticky shower floor. Woo!
That was actually
Shit, that's you're saying they actually took showers. I remember summer camp; those fuckers never showered.
Yeah. Well, that was actually the first time I actually showered in public. If I think
really?
If I think back about it, because I never,
Wait.
Because
like you just had like a hose they drag you out in front of the rest of the camp.
No.
You say shower in public.
I mean, as you know,
I know what you mean.
Okay. Well, but anyway, we'd have like archery, and they do sports and stuff, kind of like what happened.
Penis, huh?
Yeah. No.
Well, how come you hadn't showered in public before?
It was.
I don't think it's that weird, to be honest, because like I don't think like kids didn't shower when I was in middle school. You know what's weird now that you think about it as an adult? I remember when I was in like middle school and the kid that would shower after gym were like, what a fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he wants to smell clean.
Yeah. It's like, well, the first 5 years I went to a Catholic school and we had gym class, but nobody ever there was no showers there. So it was just like, you smelled the way you did the entire day. When I went,
they were too worried about the Catholic priests.
Yeah, I know. And then,
yeah, it'd almost be smarter to never shower the whole week.
Right.
Not wipe your ass. Just be wretched.
And then when I went to middle school as a public school, so after gym, yeah, you did have. Well, you weren't really told you had to. Like you said, nobody really did. And then once it got to high school, it was kind of the same thing.
High school, I think people would.
High school, that changed. More people were taking showers, and I was on.
They're trying to get busy.
Yeah, and I was on athletic teams too. So after practices, I would, especially after wrestling practice, I would have to shower. So I was used to it. So it's no big deal to me to do it at that point. But in 6th grade, 7th grade, yeah, it's the first time I'd ever done it. But they had all this, other stuff we did too.
Besides public showering.
Yeah, besides public showering, yeah. And you camp out once or twice.
Wait, so where did you sleep the rest of the time? A Holiday Inn?
Mm-hmm. No, they had cabins.
Oh, like camp out, like outside.
Yeah, actually outside. Yeah, and that for me that was always creepy because everybody'd be quiet, everybody trying to go to sleep, and you'd hear all these noises going around, and it's just usually it's all animals.
Yeah, it's called nature, Corey.
Yeah, I know it. Well, for somebody that was pretty much sheltered like I was, that was kind of. Thank you. I hope that wasn't in response to my.
That was nature for you, Corey. Just go along with it. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was a joke, Vic. I was trying to think. Oh, and we did have. There was always urban legends about the camp. About these scary stories.
The hockey mask killer?
Not a hockey mask, but there was one that I can kind of remember. It was about a guy who had lost his legs, and so I think it's maybe an arm.
Oh, I just got really sad.
Yeah,
because I just remembered again that I don't have my sound clips anymore. Because I updated my phone to iOS 11, and the fucking makers of the SoundSlater app, their lazy asses, haven't updated the damn app in years, so it won't work with my iOS 11. But right then and there, when he said there's an urban legend of a man without legs, that is a perfect time to cue, I have no legs. I have no legs.
You're just going to have to voice your
I have no legs. I have no legs. Hey, you know, go to that party? Sorry, that's where. Remember, I have that couple extra seconds.
But yeah, and the legend was that he would go around killing people, but you would always hear like a thump, like from his stumps or something. I don't remember how it went, but it was.
Wait, did this camp have wheelchair access? Like,
no.
That guy's not getting that.
He had 2 peg legs.
Yeah, there was the thumps were from the legs, and there was something about a lady in white on a horse or something, and then I swear. I think it was just my eyes messing with me, but at one point I looked out the night when the girls were there, actually. I had looked out into an area and thought I saw it, but I'm sure it was just my eyes fucking with me since I was in the light and I was looking out to darkness.
Oh, you thought you saw the woman in white?
Yeah, for a second.
What'd you do? How did you react?
I I don't think I
He wet
reacted.
himself.
I just kind of like staring, like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? But yeah, that's kind of like my camp things. I don't remember a lot else from that.
Vic, did you go to camp?
I did, believe it or not. I actually went to I think it was like 3 weeks, like half the summer. And it was a sleepover camp. Ours was integrated though.
Damn.
There were black people and white people there. Go look at that. No, it was a co-ed camp. So, but yeah, we had the guys' dorms, girls' dorms, and then the cabins and our counselors, and did the same thing. We had archery, and our big thing was the cabin challenges. So they would pit us all against each other, cabin versus cabin. They would give us, we'd have our cabin and one girl's cabin versus another cabin, another girl's cabin, like that. And then they would just have like all kinds of different challenges and shit you had to do. And then you're normal, get up in the morning and you're supposed to take a shower, get cleaned up and go to breakfast and then meet your counselors and go do whatever the fuck you're going to do for the day, which is like hiking and nature walks and like bug collecting and swimming and all that kind of stupid shit. But it was fun. It was different.
I can see Vic being the black guy at the camp who like everybody loves, and then also being the first one murdered by the masked killer with no legs. Because he's so
out as soon as I found out. If I wasn't the first one dead, I'd just be out.
I figured you were gonna say that he was the one that as they're doing the nature hike, he's like, man, why we gotta fucking walk so far?
No, that's why all these movies about like kids dying at camp all have to be white kids. Because like
right.
if it was black kids, they'd just be like the movie would be one person getting murdered, and then the next morning just a row of kids waiting for their parents to pick them up.
They're standing out by the
Fuck
road.
this.
Yeah, they'd be fucking making weapons and trying to defend themselves. Fuck that. The white kids are just like, oh, I'm scared. Fuck that. We'd be fighting back.
I disagree.
Fuck that shit.
Because I feel like white people. No.
City kids. We're a bunch of city kids that were on fucking scholarship for summer camp. We weren't gonna get.
Yeah, Vic, you weren't the city kids selling crack. I could see those kids being like, "Fuck it, we're strapped." But no, like
look,
kids that are there on scholarship. No,
at that age, I was still a fighter. So
what do black people always say at horror movies? These dumbass white people running into the house, going to check on the noise. Now all of a sudden, Vic's got him fucking starting a revolution.
I said nothing about looking for it. I said I'd be fighting back. I wouldn't just fucking take it.
No, I'm not saying anything. I'm saying they would take off. Be like, no, fuck that. Give me to a payphone. It's 1988.
That probably ain't gonna happen.
The white kids would be the ones trying to make weapons that aren't gonna work. I got a stick.
I'll poke him with this.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, but it was fun. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was an experience.
How old were you at that camp? What age was it for?
I want to say I was like 10 or 11. I think it was. Yeah, about 10 or 11.
What about you, Brad?
I went to 2 camps, I think. I can remember. One was with this church. It was like some church. And they like Jesus. They were a fan of him, his work.
They're a fan.
They're a fan of his work. I don't know what denomination or whatever. It was my friend, and he's like, "Hey, we're going to this camp. You should go. We just get to hang out in Georgia for a week." And
was that a state?
Yeah, he's like, "There's all these hot girls."
Ours was too.
And I just remember being like, "Yeah, well, I have a single mom, and we're poor, so I get rid." So of course, because this is what churches do, they just raise the money.
Yeah.
They're just like, well, we'll blow out a little bit of the Jesus fund.
That's what I'm talking about. You got a scholarship too, bitch.
Yeah, but like I wasn't there for any sports.
This poor bastard can't afford to go.
They call it a scholarship so you don't get embarrassed by charities. So they don't want to call it a charity.
Oh,
so they
yeah.
call it a scholarship.
I didn't really care.
I didn't either, but shit.
I was kind of like, yeah, fuck it.
I ain't got nothing else to do. It's the summer.
And then I went to like a Nike. It was like a Nike leadership camp when I was like 16, and it was 1 week, and it was in South Bend, and it was not Notre Dame. It was like the women's college there, St. Mary's or something like that. And it was at that campus, and we stayed in those dorms. And me and like 3 other people that went with from like my school. All got scabies. I'm assuming other people in the camp did as well. But yeah.
Nice.
Got home, I was like 15 or 16. And I was like, what happened to my dick? I haven't even had sex yet. And sure enough, yeah, scabies.
Wow.
It's fucking gross. You have to... Yeah. Chris Tucker, you're right. That's my only experience with camp.
I do remember one other thing, and it's something that they did in this movie too, was play Capture the Flag. That was one of the games we played.
That was the gayest game of capture the flag I've ever seen in my life.
It was pretty bad, but the way we played it, we had like a handkerchief, and you could hide it. It didn't like stand
Whoa,
out.
that is groundbreaking. You guys should patent that. Wait, so to play Capture the Flag, you guys actually took a handkerchief? Because, see, most people use like a cement block, which I've always thought was a little strange. I haven't seen a whole lot of cement block flags, but that's what they go with. And then you hide it as well.
I think I need a cement block right now.
No, the brilliance to which you guys...
When you hide that thing in the woods, it's a little bit more difficult to find. So
see, but I've always thought like, okay, let's talk about that. What are the standard Capture the Flag rules? Is there a way to look that up?
I don't know if there is. There.
I can tell you what I know is a standard capture the flag.
Well,
rule.
you go ahead. I'm gonna Google.
So you have two teams or whatever. So if you're doing two teams, you have two teams. They have a base of like a base on each side, and that's designated as that being the base. That's where
that's a safety area.
The flags have to be, and that's where each team starts from. And basically, you have to try to get to the other team's base, take their flag, and then make it back to your base without losing your flags, which is the two little things they had on their hips. If you lose one, you have to stop and you have to drop the flag. And then usually the other team will grab it and run it back to their base. That's how we've always played it.
That sounds similar to what we did. I don't remember the exact rules. Again, that was far too long ago for me to remember exactly how we played. But that sounds similar. But I kind of remember us just hiding it wherever on, like there was a divider line. Like this is the dividing line between your half and the other team's half. And you just can hide it anywhere. So people are just scattered everywhere looking.
What is Pac-Manhattan?
Pac-Manhattan?
What?
Okay, so I was just looking up standard Capture the Flag rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, they mentioned jail. Like, if you get caught
on the
enemy side, you can go to jail. But then it says urban gaming. And I was like, oh, this is like black capture the flag.
Just because the word urban was in there, huh?
Yeah, like
that's racist.
It's like normal Capture the Flag, but it's faster and stronger and dances better. It says Capture the Flag is among the games that have made a recent comeback among adults as part of the urban gaming trend, which includes games like Pac-Manhattan, Fugitive, and Manhunt. The game is played on city streets using cell phones to communicate. Now I'm looking for Pac-Manhattan to see what the hell this is. Well, this says it's a technologies program. That's stupid. Pac-Manhattan. Damn it. I want to know what the hell Pac-Manhattan is. It sounds like Pac-Man in Manhattan, right?
That's what it sounds like.
It's probably got something to do with, like, you have to go through the streets of Manhattan and collect like there's probably like virtual points you have to walk through, and then your phone tells you when you've passed one or something, and it'll probably tell you when there's a ghost nearby and you should like fucking move somewhere else. I don't know.
Don't get tagged by somebody wearing
People
a
are
red
playing
shirt.
a game called Fugitive where teams divide into two teams, and one's either the police or the others are fugitives. These are adults doing this. Man, why don't I have friends like this?
Dude, Manhunt, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, Manhunt, that's the next one
like
they
the old
said.
Manhunt game.
I still want to know what Pac-Manhattan is.
Well, you can look it up later.
Yeah.
Hold on. No, I can look it up now.
Oh, Jesus.
Pac-Man.
That almost worked, Vic.
Here we go. Let's see what it is. Damn it. Like, they get a whole thing for this. They're like announcing games and they schedule them. But a large upscale urban game that utilizes New York City. Oh, shit. You, like, actually dress up like Pac-Man and you run through the streets. And people wear ghost costumes.
In New York, that's not out of the norm, I don't think.
Oh, shit. There's photos of, like, people running and being chased. And then there's, like, cops looking like, what the fuck?
Well, this is New York.
Yeah, I figured you'd keep talking while I was going.
Oh no, I don't think they play that shit in Chicago.
Okay.
Oh, we think it's time to drop the death. Okay. And now it's time for a little segment we like to call. And now the Showdown Podcast history. I watched this movie a few hours ago.
That was the first time?
Yes, Corey.
The first time I watched it was probably about, I want to say it was about 1998 or 99.
Okay, Vic?
I watched this movie a day and a half ago.
For the first time ever?
First time ever.
All
In
right.
life?
I cannot wait to hear what you guys have to say about this.
And you saw it when, 98, 99?
Yeah, that was the first time I saw it.
What year did it come out?
Like 83.
83.
83. So you saw it on like the 16th anniversary?
Yeah.
15th anniversary?
Yeah, because it had just, I think it had just.
No, that's all I needed.
Okay.
This has been the Showdown Podcast history. Oh, God damn it. Fuck it, leave it.
We're not doing that over.
No. Damn, I had a good whole thing there too where I cut you off and then my nose hit the...
Hit the mic and it fell down.
'Cause I'm not... Man, yeah, we need a better setup here.
Yeah.
We need a real board.
Mm.
Like, I feel like we got like a Pinocchio sound setup. Like, it's just... We're a real sound setup.
We've got a real soundboard.
Yeah, just keep believing. And then one night
I
we're
want to
gonna
be a
go-
real podcaster.
We're gonna go get drunk.
All right, Vic.
Turn into donkeys. They did that in Pinocchio.
I know that.
It's this message is drinking makes you a jackass.
Yeah, I can kind of agree with that.
Yeah, that
But-
would have been a whole different movie. They've been smoking weed.
Mm-hmm. It would have been caterpillars.
Mm-hmm.
Vic, why don't you tell us about Sleepaway Camp?
Oh, Sleepaway Camp. This is a 1983 slasher film based around a sleepaway camp. I don't know how else to phrase it without just fucking using it.
Summer camp.
And
Yeah,
a
summer camp.
story about what happens when two kids go to sleepaway camp. The movie starts out with some teenage kids skiing on a lake with the camp in the background. And on the other side of the lake, there's a family just hanging out, sunning on a
There's
sailboat.
like a little boat. Yeah, it's like a sailboat.
Little schooner.
Yep.
And the idiots on the speedboat are playing around, and they end up running over the family.
No,
And
it's the first of very many instances of pedophilia.
Not at this point.
No, man, come on. That counselor was like at least
No, that wasn't a counselor.
18
Are you talking about the one that was
Yeah,
driving
he
the boat?
was.
in the boat.
the guy, yeah.
And that girl was like 12.
I don't think they were actually part of the camp. I think the camp was on the lake, and the family, the
He
dad.
said he could lose his job
Yeah, he was a counselor.
Okay.
or a lifeguard.
Yeah.
Some shit. Either way, he was trying to fuck that 12-year-old.
Okay.
Let me drive the boat. There's nobody around.
I would just be really surprised that a camp counselor, or they actually had a boat like that at a camp, and then just let 3 kids go out on it.
Well, he
They
was
did,
supposed
and
to be
that's
a
why the
responsible
camp counselor was driving it.
And they were.
Is that how you say it, by the way? Do you say driving for a boat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think
Vic had no fucking clue.
I've
but
never
he was
been
going
on a
to.
boat.
Well, I'm trying to
Corey
think- I'm trying to
answered
think
so
of, like-
quick, but Vic was like at first kind of like I'm
trying
gonna put
to
some, and
think
then
of
Corey was
what-
like, no, yeah, it's the same
I'm
thing.
trying to think of what my hillbilly cousin who has a boat call it, like what he
Float.
says when he's done. We're going to take the boat out, and I think he says we're going to go drive the boat around the lake.
steer.
So I, think
I hear
that's right.
steering a lot too. Steer the boat.
Well, I guess
But you still have to make
Anyway.
the boat go.
Well, yeah.
right.
Sail?
No.
Wait, are we wait,
No,
wait,
because it's not a sailboat.
No, because there's a motorboat.
Yeah.
motoring?
Yeah, we're gonna go motoring.
Motoring. Take
God,
the boat to
Long
camp.
ass setup. Anyway, the idiot's not paying attention to what's going on while she's arguing with him, and he's trying to keep, apparently according to Brad, fondle her. They end up driving the boat directly into the family that were in the water because the kids were playing a joke on their dad and flipped the sailboat.
Hold on, Vic. Ready?
Yep.
Motor in, killed those kids dead.
Okay, not enough symbols there or syllables.
And as the boat jumps over the kids, the dad, the little girl, the boy,
How did it kill him though?
the,
Grazing the back of his head without cutting it?
No, I'm sure that probably took his head off, and then the
No,
propeller
it didn't, Vic, because we saw him floating away shortly after.
You
face
saw his
down.
legs. You never saw.
No,
his
you saw the torso.
I don't
didn't
know if
see
you. I
it.
think his head was gone.
No, I saw the head. Because I remember thinking, dude, it looked like somebody was just dead man floating.
Yeah,
And
with
I
his
was like,
legs, with his legs together.
yeah, I was like, dude, I was like, man, this is almost Apache Tears bad, which is an independent film that I did years ago.
And then we see
We don't need to talk about
one
that.
of the life vests pop up out of the water, which the two kids were wearing, and the girl that was on the skis is just screaming bloody murder. Oh my God! Help that
I
family!
love-
We
yes.
murdered! Help them fast!
I love
There's nobody
how
fucking around.
she basically came to a complete stop and floated there because had they ramped up, she would have probably been tossed and then taken a little time to figure out where the hell she was before doing that. But
No, 'cause
she was just
let go of
floating
the
there.
rope.
No, it was.
She let go of the rope. She would have just sunk into the water.
I think that shot is just hilarious.
So,
I'm telling you, go back and look. That dude's head's there.
But
I'll look.
do you guys understand what was going on with that family though? Do you understand
yes,
the
and
rash?
We'll get to that in a minute.
Okay, all right. Well, all right. I didn't know if you were going to go there or not.
We'll get to it. We haven't gotten there yet, Corey. Let's
Okay.
get to it.
All right.
We should Corey. You need to navigate this show. This was your
Nope,
fucking.
I
bit.
don't.
You should
Nope,
do it.
I don't do those things. I feel like
Oh
I'm
my
rambling.
God.
You know this.
Whatever.
No, go ahead.
No.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
yes, this is your.
Yeah,
pick.
yeah,
Do
come
it.
on.
Do
I
it.
don't have the stuff in
You
front of me.
know this movie better than both of us.
Every time I start talking about something.
I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet long enough. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No.
I want to hear you
Yes,
take
yes,
control.
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on, baby bird. I'm pushing you out of the nest.
No, because
Do
I
it.
don't have anything set up. I got to keep this open like this.
All right. God, this dude will try anything to get out of work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, All right, so she screams bloody murder, and the next thing we see is a little boy, a strange ass woman. This is the weirdest fucking woman I've ever seen in my life. Like Stepford wife, weird ass crazy lady, who is screaming down for these kids to come down so they can catch their bus to go to summer camp. And down the stairs comes a little boy and a little girl. And at first thought, you're thinking, okay, well, the little boy survived. But then she mentions that it's her cousin, so you figure the little girl is the girl from the accident because it's 8 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And she calls her down, and she's like, Angela, come down. And they both come down, and she gives them their bags, their little their luggage, I guess, for which I'm guessing is more than 3 weeks. I don't know I don't know how they're supposed to.
She said it was their food for the trip there. And
No, that was the bag she had.
yeah.
That was a little bag she had. But then they picked up their luggage. that
Oh,
was
yeah,
at the
okay.
door. And she gave them their physicals. That her being a doctor made sure that they had their physicals for summer camp.
Which is a key line, actually.
Yes, it is.
You don't realize it at the time.
moment. I'll be right back.
Good old Mom's at it again.
Here they are, all filled out and signed by yours truly. Wasn't that nice of me?
What are they?
Why, they're your physicals, of course. We can't go to camp without our physicals now, can we? Just be careful not to tell anyone how you got them. Oh, no, I'm afraid that they wouldn't approve of that at all.
I did as soon as I saw it.
Okay.
I was like, this is ridiculous. Anyway, so they go to summer camp. They get on the bus. The bus pulls up, which I thought was going to be the first death of one of those kids because they're all jumping off that bus, and that bus just fucking rolls up on them. I thought one of those kids was going to get hit. And they all go running down the hill, which apparently the bus stop is at the top of the hill, a quarter mile away from the camp, and the kids are all just running down the hill going towards the camp, in which they go to their little rooms, and he drops her off and then heads for his camp. And she's just like introverted, quiet church mouse little girl, doesn't want to talk to anybody, and apparently has never been to summer camp, despite the fact that her cousin had been there for a couple years, for at least 3 years prior to this particular season, because they said that him and his buddy Paul were best friends going on 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he's obviously been there, and we meet Judy, who is
hold on. Before you go there, don't forget we're introduced to the chef and all the cooks that are watching all the kids come out.
Oh yeah,
and we get the really weird, awkward conversation from the chef.
The pedophile chef that's just kind of ogling all the little girls as they're walking down, and how much fun he's gonna have this year, and it was.
He says something like, God, I can't even say. There's a line in there that he said that I can't even repeat it. It's so
something about
gross.
there being no hair or something like.
Yeah,
ball.
I know what it said. It was just
Don't say it.
I can't. No, it's too fucking creepy. I can't do it.
So his whole crew is sitting there, and with him is, I guess, his quote-unquote sous chef, assistant kitchen manager, and the rest of the crew, who, by the way, is played by James Earl Jones's father.
That was?
You know that? Yeah, the black dude. That's James Earl Jones's dad.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yes, it is. So you learned something new here today, folks. He's actually a prize fighter who fought with Joe Louis and became an actor shortly afterwards, and that's his pop. So he's in that. And they go to they proceed on to their dorms. We meet Judy, who Paul tells him, he's like, "Have you seen Judy?" And he intimates that she has grown, she has matured over the last year and has gained boobs.
Yeah.
In which they are very interested in, and we find out that her cousin, what was her cousin's name? I can't remember.
Whose cousin?
The main
counselor?
character. No, the kid.
Oh,
it was Angela, and what was the cousin's name?
Oh fuck, I can't remember.
I'm doing most of the shit from memory, so.
What the hell was his name? But I'll tell you this, just a little side note while Vic looks it up. Brad and I think Vic, you may have been there too. We actually met the dude that played that kid.
Ricky.
Ricky. At Horror Hound.
At Horror Hound?
Yeah, not this year, but last year.
Well, obviously, because I wasn't there this year. But
yeah.
Last year, who was he? Which one was he?
We got a bumper from him, I think, but the audio didn't turn out. It was the year the audio didn't turn out for like anything that we did. It may have been the first year.
What was he actually there for, Corey?
For that.
Like who?
For this.
For this, really?
Yeah,
I don't remember that at all. All right, I'll have to look back through it. Anyway, so Ricky, who is the cousin, he tells everybody, he used to date Judy, the bitch, who ends up being the mega bitch and the main antagonist to Angela throughout the entire movie, because Angela is so weird, and for whatever reason, Judy doesn't like her automatically because Judy doesn't like her, their camp counselor, who is another fucking bully from hell, Meg, also doesn't like her, and they start picking on her right away. And she's just sitting there staring at Judy, and I'm guessing Judy's like, "Why the fuck are you looking at me like that? Are you gay or something?"
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
but she throws a pillow at her, she catches it, and then she awkwardly goes over and gets it. I don't know. It's a very weird interaction. Did you have something to say, Corey?
No, I was gonna mention something about what happened a little later when she she realizes that Angela hasn't taken a shower, and she calls her, "What are you? Are you queer?" And then says something about, "What, have you not had your period yet? I bet you don't have pubes." She just starts rattling off all this shit at her, and the whole time Angela just stares at her.
Angela, how come you never take showers when the rest of us do? Huh? You queer or something? Oh, I know what it is. You haven't reached puberty yet. Is that it? I bet you don't even have your period.
That's enough, Judy. Angela's allowed to shower in the morning or any other time she wants to.
Yeah. She takes showers when no one can see. She has no hair down below.
Judy!
She's a real carpenter's dream. The light is a board and needs a screw.
That's enough!
Fuck off!
But she did have one counselor actually would stick up for her. So if you're ever a counselor at a camp and there's somebody getting picked on, stick up for him. You won't die.
Who's the counselor that does stick up for him?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't remember what her name was, but there was only really 2 female counselors throughout the whole thing. The one that was kind of the bully, and then there was a second one.
Susie.
Was it Susie?
Yeah, her name was Susie. Meg was the other bitch counselor, and then Susie was the one that was being nice to her. And then there was the actual like head camp counselor. I think his name was Mike or something like that, and he was really nice to her because she thought she was homesick. And this is actually when we find out how bad of a pedophile the cook is, because she takes her back and he's like, hey, can we find her something really nice to eat because she's feeling a little homesick. And he's trying to help her out, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll take her back into the walk-in and we'll see if I can find some meat for her to eat. And he takes her back to the walk-in and gets ready to rape the poor girl when the head of the camp, the owner of the camp, walks in and stops him.
No, it was her cousin walked in. It's like, hey, what are you doing?
Wasn't the cousin?
Yeah, and then
oh yeah.
Then he yells at him to leave.
Yeah, that's right.
But the one camp, hold on. What did you think of the one guy camp counselor's shorts?
It was ridiculous.
Those were some nut huggers.
Were they made that way, or he just had them that far pulled up?
Like, I think that
was John Stockton, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't ever remember wearing shorts that fucking weird.
No,
like in the 80s.
No, I think that was the fashion at the time because nobody made any comments to it or nothing. So I think it was just to be saying, yeah, this is the fashion of the time. But that was, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, there's a scene where he's just standing in the background, like pumping iron.
Yeah.
Like a few scenes down the way. But so anyway, he gets caught trying to have his way with Angela. They take off. And then the next scene, basically, this is where we find out that this is not your normal nostalgic, remember summer camp type movie. Because as they are boiling water in this ridiculously large pot.
What? There's a lot of kids at the camp.
Okay, I get it, and you don't have to defend it, but still, that thing was ridiculous.
That was pretty big.
Like, if that's the case, you fucking, like, get something that you can have on the floor so the pot's at least at, normal height. But he has to climb up onto a chair to put salt in this thing. And we don't see who it is, though we do see some hands come up and grab the chair and like kind of knock him towards the water, and he grabs the shelf above it to stabilize himself, and the chair is pulled out from under him, and all of the scalding hot water is poured all over him, and this blood-curdling scream from hell. And actually, what I will say was one of the better effects in the movie. He starts to pus, he starts to blister.
Yeah.
And, like, there are 3 blisters on his face that literally, like, blow up in real time as he's screaming, which I thought was pretty good for that time.
Now, a little trivia. The hands that you saw were actually those of the actor that plays Ricky, because the girl that plays Angela, her mom because of her age, didn't want her to be a killer on screen, so they had to get a substitute. So anytime you see her, it's actually him doing it.
Right.
Like, especially later on in Another Kill, too.
The mom of Angela.
The real mom. The actress.
had a problem with her being portrayed as a killer.
Yeah.
But had no problem with what happened at the end. We'll get there.
Nope.
I'm sure that's where you're
Vic,
going.
let
right,
that sit. That was implied. Go ahead.
Anyway, so he gets pulled over. The water gets pulled over on him. He gets blistered to death, and the camp owner is just like, "Fuck, get him out of here quick before anyone notices that he's been."
Yeah.
The quote unquote accident happened.
Yeah, it was an accident for all he knows. He doesn't know that somebody actually did that to him. It could have legitimately been an accident, but he's freaking out the entire time, which...
Dude's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I think...
I'm going to fall, and I think this thing may come with me. Just fucking fall and push the pot the other direction, you dumbass.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. So, the camp owner's like, get him out of here as quick as possible. Don't let even kids see it. We don't want him calling parents, letting them know someone got hurt here. It was an accident. He pays off the kitchen staff an extra $50 a week, a paycheck, and $15 for the others if they keep their mouths shut. And James Jones's dad says, "Okay, we'll take care of it."
And he gets a raise.
Yeah, he gets a raise, and they walk on. From there, it's just a series of picking on Angela, and then someone dies. And this has got to be the most horror trope-filled fucking craziness I've ever seen in my life. Like, they hit every fucking, like, tree branch on the tree of tropes. So, at one point, let's see, what was the next kill?
Right.
Remind me what the next kill was, Corey.
I believe...
the water. It was the water. So one of the camp bullies that's been picking on Angela, the first one who starts in on her right away at the beginning of camp, he tries to get one of the girls to go on the canoe with her. She does. He starts being a dick, flips it over, tells her about all the water snakes and the turtles. She swims
Which is a
back.
really dumb move if you're trying to get with a girl. Dumb move.
He swims back, and she swims back. They get her out, and he ducks underneath of the canoe for some fucking dumb reason. I'm not sure what that was all about.
It's to set up his death.
Yeah, I know, but still, like, why? It just didn't make sense. Anyway, so he's under there singing Baba Marino to himself when a wet head comes out of the water, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And apparently gets murdered. Mm-hmm. And they leave. His buddies take off and leave him because they think he's being a dick, which he was. And the next morning, I guess the lifeguard, who's in charge of the dock area, comes up, and he's pissed because he flips over the boat and the dude's dead body is there, and it's all fucking half decomposed, and there's a water snake that comes out of his mouth.
Which his body decomposed quickly.
Yeah. They all look fucked up in one night in the water. But so the snake comes out of his mouth. So there were water snakes that she should have been worried about, and that's the first death of a camper. And the camp owner, of course, is like, "Hurry up, get this the fuck out of here. We don't want anyone to see this. We don't need kids calling their parents, telling them people are dying at camp." And so all he's worried about is the reputation of the camp.
And this is when he first starts to suspect Ricky is the one that did it. Because he knows that the people were starting to pick on his cousin, and so he's like, "Oh, you got," and his whole theory is that Ricky is taking revenge on the kids for picking on his cousin. So
was that really the thing? He kind of got that idea.
Yeah. There's there was something. I think there was something that he said that made it seem like it. And then one of the other counselors, the nut hugger dude, was gonna say something and ended up getting cut off.
So Paul and
she's got
Ricky
a dick.
Paul and Ricky spend the.
I can't help it. I'm sorry. We get nut huggers cutting it off like hidden branches on the trees. She's got a dick. She's got a dick.
Paul and Ricky spend the entire episode fending off Angela's would-be attackers, aggressors, and I guess tormentors, to the point where everyone that dies is someone who attacks Angela.
Yeah.
So the next kid, one kid gets killed by gets locked in a stall and gets a bee grenade thrown in with him. and they kill him. He gets stung to death.
He must have been allergic to bees, is all I could think of.
That's a lot of fucking bees. You take that many bee stings, you're gonna die even if you're not allergic to bees, dude.
Yeah, but if you just don't panic, they'll just fly around you.
I'm not allergic to bees, and I would freak the fuck out.
Exactly.
Who doesn't panic?
I freak out if there's one bee around me.
Right.
She's got a dick!
So, moving forward, that one dies. Then, who's after that, Corey?
It was the girl in the shower.
Okay, so Meg, the bitch of a counselor, there's a social, and now this is after Paul and her become kind of summer flings. Peck gives her a couple kisses after one of the socials. She doesn't really know how to handle it because it kind of freaks her out a little bit. And she goes back, and for whatever reason, Judy is like really pissed off that anybody likes this girl. So she sets her sights on Paul and decides she's going to try to make out with Paul to piss off Angela and to hurt her. So Meg, who again is the like henchman for Judy, even though she's the counselor, she picks on her nonstop, and she gets a night off. And for whatever reason, she is hot and heavy for the camp owner.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because that makes him a pedophile too. Because I'm pretty sure she's probably only like 16 or 17 years old, if anything. And she goes to take a shower. So she goes next door. Now the camp has been condensed down to a couple cabins because of people dying, and I guess people are leaving. Like, it doesn't make any sense why they're.
Yeah, there was one point in the movie where Ricky was talking to the main camp guy and was saying, and they were talking about the amount of kids being less than what there was because they were leaving. It was just
there's
it
only
was just
25
a quick line.
kids. There's only 25 kids left, is what it was, or something like that.
You know what?
But it didn't really explain whether or not there were 25 kids that got killed or 25 kids that left because of all the shit that was going on.
I think it was just,
and that's what I wasn't sure of what happened. You know what, Brad?
You know what? Like, I think one of the most fun activities you can do at camp is.
What's that?
Chop some wood. Just get out there, have a lot of grit at that camp. Everybody do their job. Chop some wood, and she's got a dick.
So after
I said she's
shower,
got a dick. I did not say she's got grit. She does not have any grit, but she does have a dick.
Meg goes to take a shower, and
she is not staying in her lane or doing her job.
She goes to take a
jumping
shower
into all of the type of lanes.
Cabin next door.
Out there.
And as she's humming a very bad tune to herself, someone comes in and stabs her through the wall of the shower and basically runs the blade all the way down her spine, in which she never made any attempt to get away from the wall in which she was being stabbed through or anything. And later on, when they realize that she's missing and go searching for her body, apparently she had been standing the entire time in the shower.
I thought that too.
Until the old man walked in and she fell forward through the shower. Because the girl walked in there and saw her too, right? The girl came running out, and that's how they knew where the body was. When he walks in, she falls through the shower curtain onto the floor.
No, he was the first one. He was the first one in there because he went
It
to
was
the
the
other.
girl.
He went to the other cabin.
It was the girl. It was the girl.
No, hold on. He went to the other cabin and asked Judy where she was, and she's like, "Oh, she went next door to use the shower." So he goes over there and he's like calling out to her, and she's at this point she's still apparently standing up in the shower and then she just falls over she just happens to fall over when he
shower
when he
curtain
in.
and all.
Yeah.
And she had been basically deboned. He went right down her spinal cord with it and killed her.
Right.
So he wasn't getting any.
There's somebody who else wasn't
what he was worried
deboned.
about. He wasn't real happy. And then
got a dick.
the next kill was they had sent out.
It was Judy.
Meg and Judy, who had picked on her that day, they'd thrown her into the water, in which she was definitely afraid of. Even though she apparently had no problem going in to kill the kid. She went after Judy next, and Judy, who was sitting in her bunk in the dark, curling her hair, ends up getting mollywopped in the face, and then basically sodomized with a hot curling iron,
and dumped under her bed.
in which All we got was screaming and the clutching, curled, gnarled hands of terror and doom and pain.
Mm-hmm.
And when that subsided, she was unceremoniously dumped under her bed. And that was the end of Judy. After that, the other tormentors were the little kids, I guess the younger kids that were throwing sand at her as they were walking away.
That's my guess.
After she was dunked in the water.
That's my guess.
That's who it was. That's who it was, because it was that counselor who kept telling them to stop. And those little kids were like throwing sand at her. I was like, you have a very, very fucking weak skin if that's why you needed to murder a bunch of kids, because they were throwing sand at you.
Yeah,
but they went on a camping trip, and 2 of them were pussed out and wanted to go back to the cabins. So the counselor took them and left his little hatchet sitting there. When he came back, he found all the kids hacked up in their sleeping bags, in which he pukes and runs off. So she pulls a fucking Michael Myers and ends up back from where the kids were being hacked up back to the camp in like no time at all, even though he had to drive them back to the camp, by the way, because they had to go get in the car and drive back to camp. She managed to run the fuck out there, get there, murder the kids, and run back to camp before he got back with a car.
Well, A, she's fast, and B, you don't know how long he was actually gone.
Long enough to drive the kids back and back again.
Well, you
so
don't know. Maybe he stopped at the gas station.
He still made it back because he managed to murder another. She managed to murder another person before he got back. In which the camp counselor or the camp owner, in his search for the girl after he finds her body in the cabin, he runs out and you see the archery target in the background. You're like, oh, he's gonna get a fucking arrow through the head. Which he doesn't. It ends up going through his neck, but it's still the same purpose. When he sees her and says, "Oh, it's you. What are you doing?" And he's like, "It wasn't him. It was you." Well, this was after he had beat the living fuck out of Ricky.
Yes, Ricky is laying unconscious somewhere in the woods.
He has come to the conclusion that Ricky is the cause of the root of all of his problems. So he beats the fuck out of a young teenage boy, and doesn't think that's going to be the root of all of his problems.
No. This guy probably has a list of problems.
He gets an arrow through the throat, aside from being a pedophile and now a child abuser. He gets an arrow through the throat, which promptly kills him. At this point, we have Paul, who has now gotten back to Angela and is trying to apologize for making out with Judy.
Well, hold on. Paul had said, or he had talked to her earlier in the day, and she's like, meet me on the beach at whatever time.
Earlier in the night. Yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
Okay. And so he's down on there on the beach.
Right. So he meets up with her and she's like, well, let's go get in the water. So he's like, oh, hell yeah. He takes off his clothes. You see her start to undress. Then it goes back to everyone panicking, looking for the killer or looking for the people that are missing. At which point...
Yeah, because they were doing a count of all the kids, and they realized that Ricky, Paul, and Angela are all missing. And then they find Ricky.
They find Ricky beat to hell, along with the cop finds Ricky beat to hell. And then they end up going to the beach where they see Angela sitting on her knees, rocking back and forth, caressing Paul's head. And then she stands up, turns around, makes this god-awful, fucked-up-looking face, starts hissing or gurgling, or I don't know what the fuck it was. She has a knife in one hand.
And a dick!
And a penis.
She's got a dick!
And
you didn't play your surprise music. Dun, dun, dun. I was totally expecting that. But yeah, that's... And then that's where the movie ends. And it ends on her face with the weird expression, which was a mask. Surprise, surprise! It's just a mask on some dude that had to get drunk to do that shot.
But we also have the scene of the mother.
Yes, we did. Yeah, you did leave those intercut scenes out
because. The way they should have played that out is they should have shown that whole thing, like him standing there, and then when that happened, switched to, like, while that was going on, like a quick cut scene of her doing what she did, then back to her. Would have been much better done, but they switched right. Was it right before they showed it?
It was right before.
It's like right before. I'm like, you just fucked up the whole like surprise ending.
Yeah,
like literally, they should have waited until after they did that and then shown that.
Yeah,
that we didn't figure it out anyway.
You find out that it was actually the two kids at the beginning. It was the boy that survived, and when he went to stay with his aunt, who was the wife of the guy at the beginning of the movie, you find out that he was actually gay.
No.
Yeah.
It was their aunt. It was their aunt who was on her way to the event, to the family outing with her son, which was Ricky. And she gained custody of them after they died because their dad was gay. And his homosexual lover could not get custody of the kids. So she won custody. And because she already had a son and was apparently psychotic, she made this kid become his twin sister instead of
because
himself.
She already had a boy.
Right. She didn't want another son because she already had one.
See, I've heard different things, but I've heard that she was actually the wife of the one guy that was killed, and then those were the two cousins, or there was like the girl was killed too, and then Angela as the boy survived. I don't know. No, there's never been any.
She's got a dick.
No, Ricky.
There's never.
Ricky was her son because she says it.
Right, and he calls her mom,
and that's his cousin Angela.
Right, but I'm thinking at the beginning. I don't know. I get.
Yeah. Anyway, they actually mentioned at the beginning that their aunt is coming, and she's like, "Oh, Aunt so and so's coming. I like her," and then it goes through the whole thing. Anyway, the last thing that's heard, the last line of the movie, is the camp counselor, which it was Ronnie. I was wrong. It wasn't Mike. It was Ronnie. Ronnie and Susie. She screams and he yells, "How can it be? My God, she's a boy!" And it goes into that weird fucking like just view. So that was a dude in a mask.
Yeah. That was a mask. That was a mask that they did of her.
Like maybe they like put her in like a bodysuit and slapped a Merkin on her and called it a day.
No, no, that was a guy that was. They had done it, I think, in like a local college town or somewhere around there. I can't honestly remember where I read it or what I read, but they did say that the dude had to get drunk in order to do the scene. So that's what they did. They just threw the mask on him. That's why the look never changes.
All of the kids in this movie, Ricky, Angela, Paul, are all like, 13, 14-year-old kids. Everyone else in this movie, including like Judy and all of the other kids, are all fucking like college students.
No.
Or college-age students.
No.
Yeah, they were all older than them. They had to have been.
Well, maybe a couple of the counselors. Not Judy, though, I'm sure. I didn't look at their ages. No, I didn't look at their ages. I wasn't that concerned about it.
Anyway.
But that's it.
Hey, Brad.
She's got a dick. It's commercial time. Corey.
Yes.
Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter. And
Corey ain't got a dick. Vic, go ahead.
What?
You can find me on social media.
Hold on, Vic. Hold on, Vic. Corey, go ahead. That joke was so bad, I'm actually going to let you go first.
All right. You can find me on...
I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Vic.
You can find me on social media as MillerKing51. And you can find me on all gaming platforms as Black and Angry. That's BLAQ, the letter N and Angry. And if you're actually interested in hearing me do something a little bit different, you can also find me on Electric Streams Media on the Cable Ready podcast, where we discuss TV shows and movies from HBO, as well as the Miller Times podcast. Corey and I have revved that machine back up, and we've gone back into discussing the current episodes of Gotham. So if you want to hear more about that, you can join us at the Miller Times Pod on social media.
Find me at Brad Scott Comedy. Listen to WrestleMania. Corey, go ahead.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at NKOGonzo. You can also check out Brad and I's other show, the My Way Podcast, where we talk about generally anything. This week we've got a great interview coming up, and
Don't you mean a couple of weeks ago?
yes, that's correct. I forgot. I forgot we're in the time.
Go listen to the Josh Springer episode.
Yeah,
I called Jordan Rock a piece of shit. It's Chris Rock's little brother.
yeah. So there's that, and you can find us on Twitter at MyWayPod. You can find us on Facebook at My Way with Brad and Corey, and check us out on iTunes and Podomatic.
All right, we'll be back to the show. She's got a dick. This is so hacky. Dude looks like a lady because she's got a dick. All right. Let's get right to this. Corey, this
Yes.
is your pick. You go first.
Well, I don't think this should come as any surprise. I like this movie. It still holds up for me. I think it's the first in the series of, I believe they ended up doing 3 full movies. A 4th one ended up not getting finished, but I like this movie. It definitely holds up for me.
They didn't finish it. Like they got everything done, but they didn't cut the movie.
Yeah, well, no, they didn't really. They didn't.
How symbolic.
Yeah, I know. No, they just ran out of money and just couldn't finish it. They got some shots done, but they never finished it. The stuff has been released. I have the box set, which has the disc of just those scenes, just for people. So, but yeah, for me, it definitely holds up. It's
All right,
it's a thumbs up.
I'll go next. I knew you were gonna say it holds up because as I just got done telling your wife when I got here, the
You're
movie
gonna try
was
this
on.
again?
But the movie, that last scene was on pause, and there was just a bottle of lotion and a box of tissues.
Yeah.
Next to the couch. It was weird scene. As candles lit. Okay, yeah, I don't know. It does not. It does not. It does not survive. She's got a dick. It's fine. Good for her. I'd give her Sportsman of the Year.
You didn't see that ending coming, though.
No, did not. But that doesn't make it enough.
That doesn't change anything for you.
Nah, like it's. Yeah, I mean it was shocking. Vic, hit me with the sound. Vic, hit me with the dramatic. There. Yeah. So yeah, but it does not hold up.
Vic, it comes down to you.
And as much as I hate to say that, because I support transgender people, even if they're murderers.
Even if they're murderers.
Which actually, this could have been also called the Bruce Jenner story, to be honest.
A young Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah. We all forget that guy murdered somebody.
Yeah.
When he had a penis. He was a murderer. And then after he murdered somebody, he decided he didn't want his penis anymore. And we gave him an award at the ESPYs. But he murdered someone. Just because he got his penis removed doesn't make him a good person. He's still a piece of shit.
So, Vic, it's up to you.
So, I have seen a lot of fucking, like...
Not to say all transgender people. Most transgender people are really good people. And they have to live horrifying lives because of the way they have to feel inside, because of the way society treats them. But the ones that murder someone and then decide to get rid of their penis, I think they're a piece of shit. I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
I think that's the same subject matter that got Carl to hate me. So
Carl doesn't hate you.
So,
Carl from Popcorn, I know, but I want his support and his approval more than my own father's.
So I have seen a lot of
Carl,
Wet
we
Hot
need to get
American
some
Summer.
popcorn.
You know, it's
Carl, we need to get a booth. Popcorn. Carl, we need a table.
Brad, let Vic do his.
Sorry, go ahead. Uh-oh.
anyway,
What was that?
the,
Is Vic working on spells and potions?
That was Walking Dead's theme song.
Oh, Carl. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good play, Vic.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. So, I watch a lot of like horror movies, a lot of slasher movies, a lot of camp movies, and I can honestly say that this was the schlockiest, most trope-filled, ridiculously predictable thing I've ever watched. I've ever had Corey suggest that I watch.
You think the
And
ending was predictable?
That's saying a lot, dude. By the time they started talking about her not taking a shower, not that whole scene there, I knew what was happening. Like literally knew exactly what was going on. At first, I was like, oh, she's just like torn up from the propeller blades or something. But then when they started going down south about the whole thing, I was like, nope, chick's a dude.
She's got a dick.
And it was just like I didn't see this back in '83 when it came out. Obviously, I didn't see it back in '93 when it came out. I wish I hadn't seen it in 2017. There is no way in hell I could ever say that this movie holds up, because I don't think seeing it back in '83 it would have held up.
That's
it was
bullshit.
just it was crazy bad, dude. Crazy.
Oh, somebody's upset.
That's some bullshit.
But it definitely fits you, Corey, for sure. That's for sure.
Thank you very much.
I do have a question for you though, Corey.
Yeah.
In your is this on your list of top 100s?
It's in my top 30 Halloween or horror films. Yes.
But it's not in your top 100.
No.
And it's in your top 30. Where does it rank in that?
Well, now you're catching me off guard. I don't know.
Does it rank in your all-time movies? Does it
Is
rank
it in the top 10?
Let me check. Hold on.
Does it rank ahead or behind Mrs. Doubtfire?
Oh, definitely in front of Mrs. Doubtfire.
What about Tootsie? How does it rank as far? Is it ahead or behind Tootsie?
How about Julie Newmar?
What? Tu Wong Fu?
Tu Wong Fu, whatever the hell that movie.
Yeah, I already went with the easy ones, Mrs. Doubtfire and Tootsie, Vic. Trust me, you're gonna be straining your brain. By the way, this is maybe the first true slasher film. Get it? Slash man, woman.
I got you.
She's got a dick.
Is she?
Does this rank ahead or behind the Bugs Bunny cartoons where he tries to fool Elmer Fudd by dressing up like a girl rabbit? And somehow Elmer Fudd all of a sudden just wants to fuck rabbits because he sees one in a dress?
It's number 32 on my list of horror films.
So it did not make your top 30.
No, it got
You're a liar.
It was in my top 30. Then it came out, so it kind of bumped it out.
Well, that's one.
That's one.
Yeah, that's 32.
Yeah, I know. There's another one in here too that was recent. I think Insidious when it came
Corey,
out.
where do the other three rank for you?
Oh,
or the other two?
Oh, I don't
know.
The
last full one was Return to Sleepaway Camp, right?
Yeah,
that was my first introduction to this whole thing.
What was the next one? Like, he's got tits.
Return to the sequels are a bit different because I think in the second one, Angela's not even in it. They have somebody else play a murdering character, and then Angela ends up coming back. I think in the third one or in Return. There's 4. Return
is the one that she comes back in.
Yeah, Return came out like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
You know why that one didn't work or wasn't successful? Because they brought back the wrong person. They shouldn't have brought back Angela. They should have brought back the guy that had the dick.
All right.
Well, there was the actual chick that played Angela came back and
that's what I'm saying. They should have gotten the guy with the mask. They should have got him and his dick back. That's how they found success the first time. You know, go with what brought you to the dance. Okay, so moving on.
It does not survive.
Nope, don't have to play No Destiny's Child. Although this may have been the most appropriate.
We need a loser song.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. Especially for this.
Oh wait, I got it, Vic.
You do?
I've got it. I've got the perfect song.
All right.
Here we go. This is one of my. I love the beginning lines. of this.
Yes.
It's one of the best ever. I'm trying to figure out now. I gotta figure. That is our official loser song. In the tribe of chimpanzees, I was a monkey.
All right.
That fits for this as well.
All I know is...
in the tribe of females, I had a dickie. Okay, so that's it. It's a loser. So there have been a lot of new trailers that have come out.
Yeah.
Some
that are winners. Unlike this movie.
Yeah, what are you excited to see? We'll start with Vic.
Does it have to be a movie?
Sure.
Well,
no,
this is a movie podcast, so yeah.
Well, what are you talking about?
Look, we've had it on this movie podcast.
Fair enough.
There you go.
What are you excited for?
I am super excited about the Punisher TV show that's coming out.
I'll save that for Miller Times.
Literally, it surpasses any movie that's coming out. Is how excited I am to see this. So it's movie wise, it's the predictables for me. I mean, you've got Thor Ragnarok coming out.
You got the new Stallone action movie?
The Predictables?
Yeah,
Predictables?
Exactly
I thought it was a sequel to, never mind. I
Vic,
forgot.
go ahead, hit him. Hit him. There it is.
You gotta at least finish the fucking joke, Corey.
No, I
Jesus.
couldn't remember the name of the movie.
God, I've never seen someone bail on an idea so fast in my life. Never mind. It was like he was just waiting for...
He's like, I have something, never mind.
Yeah, go ahead, give me the sound. So the Punisher TV show.
Yeah, that, and then like I said, the Predictables are obviously the Marvel movies that are coming up are exciting for me. I'm looking forward to Justice League, even though I'm still a little iffy on it.
The newest trailer will make you more excited for it.
You think?
The one that they played before it, I thought, like,
yeah,
you see a little bit of Aquaman in the water fighting. Like, it just it does look really super cheesy, like that part where he takes the guy through the building.
Yeah.
And why are the clouds so red?
Definitely put more promise into what we've been seeing over the past couple of months. But yeah, like I said, it's those are the ones that I'm mainly looking forward to. I haven't really seen a whole lot of anything else that super piques my interest, but there's a few little things out there. That's pretty much it for me.
Vic, did you play Injustice?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that shot where Aquaman is coming down and he's riding the dude through the building, do you think they pulled that from that game?
I mean, the influence is there for sure.
That's what I was thinking.
There's a lot of influence from that game.
Probably so.
Yeah, there's definitely an influence from it.
Well, we saw the trailer. We just saw the trailer, like a teaser, before we started recording for a new Pacific Rim, which I had heard talks that they were going to be doing one. I didn't know that there was an actual teaser out there, so I'm kind of looking forward to this.
What's the tagline?
Okay, you didn't know there was a teaser, not that there wasn't going to be a movie.
Yeah, I didn't. I
knew there was going to be a movie.
Right. I didn't know the teaser was out there at all.
What was the tagline?
Something about a Jaeger.
If you don't know, why did you? Damn it! It's Jaeger Uprising. First of all, I assumed one of you would remember that.
It was an hour ago.
And I was going to say my Jaeger joke, but with you going Jaeger something, it completely took the steam out of it.
It's Jaeger Uprising. We'll edit all that other stuff.
No, we're not. Go ahead. Corey, what are you excited for? Besides that one trailer you didn't know existed.
I think I'm with Vic as far as the Marvel stuff goes. I'm always looking forward to the new ones. The Thor, the first two movies, I was indifferent with them. I didn't really, it was like I wasn't like wanting to go out and see those right away. This one really has my interest peaked for it. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, he got his buddy Hulk to help him out. It's like, it's like when Will Smith made Bad Boys 2 and they asked him about, like, how it was working with Martin, and he's like, Like it was so sad because it's just like you could tell like he felt bad for him. He's like, "Oh, Martin, man, anytime that dude wants to make a movie, like I love that's, yeah, like I help him out. I'd rather do that than give him money."
So there's that, and obviously the Pacific Rim. I like the first movie, so I'll definitely want to check out the second one. I don't remember Star Wars, which we haven't seen anything from yet, and that's supposed to come out in December, right, Vic?
Yeah. However, I mean, we've seen the trailers that have come out, but there haven't been a lot of newer trailers. There's been a lot of stuff, a lot of secondary media coming out on Facebook and Twitter and that kind of stuff, but not anything that's really showing anything as a new trailer or a teaser or anything like that.
So maybe by the time that this airs, the time we put this out, maybe we'll have gotten a trailer by then. I don't know.
So I'm thinking that it's basically slowed down right now because they're trying to push Ragnarok. Disney is being smart about not trying to, I guess, overshadow what they have coming out before it. So I think you'll see like a push for that when Ragnarok comes out.
Yeah, possibly. Is there anything you're looking forward to, Brad?
Oh, I'm very excited for Goodbye Christopher Robin. Stars Margot Robbie and that gives a rare glimpse into the relationship between beloved children's author A.A. Mine and his son Christopher Robin, whose toys inspired the magical world of Winnie the Pooh.
Are you serious?
No, actually, I just want to see the movie Jigsaw, the new Jigsaw.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Where they kill people with really cool ways.
Yeah.
That looks good. Here's the thing. I think Jigsaw's going to be good because this is weird. They're not necessarily rebooting, although they kind of are. Mm-hmm. Like, they're staying in context of the story. They're like, "You guys been dead," and then he's like, "Oh, we want to play a game. Mm-hmm. This was actually recorded on the last day when I had AIDS and cancer and I had a dick." And I think it's going to be good. I think it'll be decent. Now, I think the one that they make after this, Jigsaw 2 and 3, are going to be awful.
Yeah, most likely.
But I think this one will be good because they've taken enough time off from the series since they put out like a major motion picture that I think it'll be able to regain its footing.
Yeah.
I'm also excited to see the
Happy Death Day?
Yes, Happy Death Day. When that chick just dies over and over again. That looks really good.
It's like a horror Groundhog Day.
Mm-hmm. Are you guys wanting to see Blade Runner?
I love how he just fucking uses my joke.
Yep.
Son of a bitch. Brad, I see what you're saying now.
Oh, he's the worst.
Yeah. The Blade Runner.
Absolutely the fucking worst.
Blade Runner, I haven't even seen the first one.
Me either.
You've never seen... Really?
Never watched it.
Fucking hell.
There's 4 cuts in the movie. Haven't watched one of them.
All right, well, this is going to be awful. I also want to see The Disaster Artist. It's about that dude that makes The Room.
Yes.
With the Franco brothers and Seth Rogen.
Yes, I definitely want to see that one. Which we should... Do you think we should do The Room on this show sometime?
Well, why
Did that
not?
movie just fucking come out? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's only been out. It hasn't been out. It didn't come out that long ago, right?
It's like maybe 3
like
or 4
a
years
year.
ago. No.
Has it been that? It hasn't been that long, has it?
Not the Oscar-winning one.
No, Vic, not that. No. This is the movie that is about. It's from 2003, by the way.
Okay, so 14 years.
It's that movie with Tommy Wiseau or whatever.
Wiseau. Yeah.
And it's like super bad and doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And it becomes a cult favorite.
You know,
yeah, I don't know anything about
he plays
that
a guy,
one, so.
a super guy that's really weird, and then you find out later his girlfriend has a dick.
Have you seen it?
No.
This is apparently something Corey's very interested in.
I have never seen it, but everybody talks about how bad it is, and the acting is so horrendous. I've seen clips, and it's bad. If you get a chance to watch the trailer for the one with James Franco in it, you'll see the acting that he's doing in that is just like the clips I've seen of the actual movie itself. It's just really, really bad. I don't even know if it's probably so bad that we couldn't do it on this.
Vic, do you have anything else you want to see?
No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I think that's about it for me.
Then that's the show. I have a bad feeling I'm going to go to sleep tonight and wake up and have to record this damn episode again tomorrow. And I'll have to keep recording the episode until I can figure out why Corey is killing the showdown. So from Corey,
Yep.
Vic,
Know it.
I'm Brad Scott. Oh, by the way, real quick. There was one thing I wanted to do.
Oh, boy.
And damn it, now I can't think of what it was.
Well, it's too late because you've already played the outro music.
All right, that's true.
No, that's not true. Hey, Corey, cut this part out. You need to do, how can it be? My God, she's a boy.
Okay, don't cut this out. Leave all this in. Just make it a mess of an end of an episode because that was a mess of a movie you had to sit through. Okay, so
Don't leave that in.
This is bonus content.
how can it be? She's a boy, buddy.
No, you fucked it up.
So now I've got to cut this out.
My God, she's a boy.
Oh, so I forgot my God.
Yeah, well, that's like the emphasis on it. Like that's when he says it. That's
How can it be? My God, she's a boy, buddy. Hey, what about this one?
Pause before saying buddy.
Okay. My God, how can it be? She's a boy, buddy. What about this one? By God, she's a boy.
I'm not sure anybody's going to get the
That's
JR.
Jim Ross.
Yeah.
By God, as God is my witness, that penis has been cut in half.
Stop the damn movie.
She, my God.
How
she's,
can it be? My God, she's a boy.
She's not staying in her lane. She's not a boy.
Cut the music. Cut the song over.
So that's the show. Thank you for listening. For Corey.
Yep.
For Vic.
Know it.
I'm Brad Scott. Check us out next time. How can it be? My God, she's a boy. Pew, pew. She's dirty as well. Pew. You got a little something there on your penis. Pew, pew.